Damn, son, where'd you find this?
And now for something completely different.
Yes! My turn, assholes!
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Say here. Let's get right into it. Okay, it's been a minute, but here we have Transformers 2007 movie Ratchet version 3 in his Hummer H2 search and rescue vehicle mode. Now, for those of you that don't know, Ratchet is the medical officer for the Autobots in that movie, and he doesn't get too much screen time. He's kind of more of a side character, but I still really like his design. Now, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. This guy is definitely going on my list of most difficult builds ever constructed because his robot mode is really slender and athletic looking, but then when we get back to this vehicle mode right here, this thing is pretty massive. Because with this passenger storage area towards the back of his vehicle mode here, it adds so much more mass that you now have to make fold down and collapse down in different ways in order to shed the bulkiness of this mode so that he maintains the slenderness of his robot mode. So if we take a look at the version 2 here, I didn't even know how to manage it. So we had just masses of kibble hanging off my man's back here. Okay, just continent-sized pieces of kibble just hanging off my man's back. Okay, so for every version of Ratchet that I have designed up until this one, it has always been this large passenger storage area of the vehicle mode that I have improperly managed to the point where it negatively impacts the robot mode. But as I was designing this version here, I said, you know what? I always build this portion of the car from the inside out. Why don't I try building it from the outside in? Huh? So peep game, because I didn't think this was gonna work, but it did, so I'm hype. The first thing I did was hollow out the interior of the back portion of the vehicle mode. So we still get the shape that we need, that large rectangular box on the back of the car, but since it's hollow, we get that shape minus the additional weight.
Can I get a yeah boy, please?
Yeah, boy.
Now, the second thing that I did was design the interior of the walls in such a way that they'd be able to reinforce themselves and the surrounding walls. So because of that, I don't actually need a beam or support in the middle of the back of the vehicle mode here to hold this ceiling up.
Oh.
But then we got the $1 million question. Where does all of this even go in his robot mode? Oh, well, you see, that's quite easy. Because it's hollow now, all I have to worry about is the ceiling, the back walls, and the side walls. And because the side walls are attached to the back walls, that's technically one unit. So this rolls up several times and then stores on one leg. This side rolls up several times, stores on the other leg, and then this upper flap here, which is the ceiling, rolls up and sits on his back. And then this caged portion here actually detaches just like how it does with the toy version of 2007 movie Ratchet and becomes his shield in his robot mode. Now, the one drawback that we do have with this version 3 is due to the fact that the construction is so much more complex. There was just no way to hide all of the clip and hinge pieces that allow for all of that extra mobility. So the sides and the back walls of the vehicle mode do look a tad bit sloppier than they did with the previous version. But trust me when I tell y'all, it was so worth it because the robot mode looks so much better than any Ratchet that I have ever built. And speaking of that robot mode, let's get right back into that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been a hot minute, but not before I tell y'all what I've been doing for the last 5 months while I wasn't uploading. First, I started off by designing my own custom logo. So we got the SB in there, which stands for Say Builds, the wrench on top, and all of that is encompassed by a metal gear. Next, I redesigned all of my old merch, so the link to where you can buy any of my new clothing designs is in the description. Next, people have been asking me for tutorials, so I made 5 tutorials, and those are available on my Patreon, which you will have to be a subscribed paid member in order to access. And they pretty much just give you a head start on building your own Lego Transformers or mechs. And lastly, the thing that ate up most of my time was the 37 mocks that I had to design, playtest, and do instructions for. So they're pretty much all mechs or robots of some kind. 17 of the instructions are free and the rest are buyable on my Rebrickable page or Patreon. So once again, the link for all of that is in the description. But you know what? It took a hell of a long time, but me getting 5 months worth of practice designing my own Lego mocks really taught me how to price my sets. So now I know what pieces to use when I'm designing a set and what pieces not to use. Because not for nothing, there are certain pieces in certain colors that are like $37 just for that one piece. And in another color, they're literally 30 cents.
What? $37 for one piece? A joke thing yet?
Yeah, man.
$37 for one piece. Me can't bother with that. Me tell him say, General, me give you $2-3 for that one piece. Me nah pay $37 for that.
What say?
Him say him nah sell me piece for $2-3. $30 minimum.
Two blood clad with him.
That me I say.
Hey, yo! Bro, did I not just tell them that the robot mode was gonna be worth it? Did I not just tell them that?
No, you did. You definitely did tell them that just now. You definitely did.
Okay, because I thought I was going crazy. I'ma pull back now. So boom. We got updates for days with this version 3 robot mode here, ladies and gents. For days, not hours. Update number 1, we do now finally have a fully transformable 2007 movie Ratchet that does not require a stand to hold itself upright. Update number 2, reproportioned arms, because on the previous 2 versions I hadn't yet thought of the idea of making the back portion of the vehicle mode fold up and sit on the side of Ratchet's legs here. So they had nowhere else to go but his arms, and it made his arms look extremely disproportionate to the rest of his body.
Me not finish. But look, update number 3.
So check this. Could have taken the exact same head sculpt from the version 2 and just slapped it on the version 3 right here because it was still a pretty decent looking head sculpt. But I said, you know what? That's a negative, my guy. That's too easy. So I designed a brand new head sculpt that actually has a pair of dark blue eyes in there, the signature protruding cheekbones that Ratchet has, and the signature protruding cranium cap. Update number 4. This time around, I used entirely different bar and clip pieces to design that caged section that sits on the front portion of Ratchet's vehicle mode. So unlike the version 2, not only does the front portion of the car split upwards, but the caged portion on the front of it also splits upward and sits at this diagonal angle just above Ratchet's shoulders, which is pretty accurate to the movie design. And then lastly, we've got the front wheels, which are situated just above Ratchet's shoulders, which isn't 100% accurate to the movie because they're a bit too high, but it still looks really cool in my opinion. Now, as for the drawbacks, this kibble situation here is a lot better than the kibble situation on the version 2, but it's still kind of messy looking, I'm not gonna lie. And I was going to say that the sides of the back of the vehicle that sit on the bottom of Ratchet's legs here are another drawback, but I don't know about y'all, I'm actually okay with this. Let me know what you think in the comments though. This really doesn't look too bad for me, especially since when you take a look at it from the front, it really just looks like a natural part of Ratchet's Ratchet's leg. And of course, we couldn't do a 2007 movie Ratchet version 3 without at least mentioning the signature gun, saw, and shield. Now, with this newly designed version of Ratchet done, I have finally completed all of the 2007 movie Autobot designs to a decent degree. So if you guys are interested in checking out my 2007 movie Ironhide or my 2007 movie Jazz, I'll leave the links to those videos at the end of this one.